Let's take a look at some different junipers around the landscape. One of the great things about junipers are so many different sizes, shapes, and colors. We're going to focus specifically on some of the lower growing ones today. Prince of Wales, Icee blue, Calgary carpet, and Savin juniper. We're next to Prince of Wales juniper here. This is a nice low growing emerald green type color. That winter color kind of picks up more of a coppery olive color, but look at that bright green. What we're after here is not covering up these two specimen fieldstone boulders. If you've watched some of the previous videos I've done, I use a lot of different fieldstone, riprap, and contouring. Junipers are going to make your landscape stand out as long as you don't let it continue to grow and cover up that which you put in. So once we've hit this point, we've got to stay on top of this, where this juniper is kind of covering up. So it's typically twice a year now that I got to get in here and prune these. And what I'm trying to avoid, I don't want that stubby cut that you get if you start hacking way back inside the shrub. You get that blunt, ugly looking cut. So we want to stay with that fresh tip growth as much as possible. You could do a little bit of walking on this type of juniper without damaging it. You don't want to be driving over it and have a tremendous amount of traffic, but that light walking, that's typically not a problem. Maybe that's why they call them carpet junipers. You can see you can pull back on something like that if you want to find out where the longer stem is, and that's one of the techniques you can use, is kind of find out where that longer stem is, sneak back in there, and then you're going to leave some of the tip growth. It's just much more presentable. So there you go. That's what you're after. Look at that. Look what a difference that makes, just leaving those specimen boulders exposed. Here we're next to Savin juniper. Look at that nice natural form. That's what I love about this juniper. This is oftentimes sheared, and it's turned into every type of globe or box you can imagine out there. So occasionally I'm coming in there and I'm pruning out some of the longer canes and keeping it overall size reduced down. I usually do the pruning in the spring and the fall on my junipers, but you can do it throughout the season. Again, just reach back in and you're going to grab one of those longer canes. That'll just help you drop the overall size and keep that natural form. Beautiful green color on this. Gets about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. But look at this boulder here. Once we let the juniper get too big, that's covered up, and that adds something to this overall landscape with the contouring. So once again, keep an eye on that in your landscape and make sure you're pruning back your junipers, your evergreens, and other shrubs so you don't cover up something that was put there. We're looking at Icee blue juniper here, just a beautiful blue. Our problem here, this juniper is starting to creep in over the edging into the grass. I think the way to solve this long term though, I'm actually going to let this juniper just keep going, and I'm going to bring the edging bed out a little bit further. And we'll likely just abandon that edging in there. It's nested in with that juniper. We'll just tie in, come out further, maybe add some different fieldstone to get that character a little bit further out. Here's another little stand of Icee blue juniper. This one's in a rock bed rather than a mulch bed, so we don't have to worry about the spread quite as much. And that's the thing about creeping junipers. If they're in a wood-based mulch type area or where there's soil, they'll actually layer in. It's a propagation term, layering. Those stems, they'll root in. Look as I pull this. There's roots under there. So definitely keep that in mind with the creeping or sprawling junipers. They can really get aggressive in those beds where they have the ability to root in. Rock will slow it down for sure because they've got to come from the main plant. And a third example of Icee blue behind us. We've got some fieldstone under there and some mounding. Let's see if we can get this one cleaned up real quick. And now it's decision time. Look at that. We've got a major stem that we exposed there. We're going to shake that a little bit, see if we can figure out how far it goes out there. We're probably going to cut it off. Hopefully we won't expose too much ugliness. Yep, time for the loppers. Oh yeah, that worked out good. You can see here we're starting to open up some long lost fieldstone. I think we'll leave a little bit of a vein kind of down the center, give it some character, but this is going to turn out good. And there we go, look at that, man. Didn't that just open up a lot of new interest? Here we're next to Calgary carpet juniper. This is a nice layered type juniper. Doesn't sprawl completely to the ground. If you take a look back this spring, we cleaned it up. So mostly what we're shooting for here, we want to avoid exposing some of this really gnarly dead growth. That's where you can see when I grab the end, I can kind of feel back in there where I can bite into that stem a little bit further back. Even though we pruned this back this spring, it's getting ahead of us again. It's the same technique here in the pruning. We're going to go ahead and just cut back some of these main stems, give it a shake like that, find where it is back in there. Once we pull out that long cane, the shorter ones have taken over. Looks very natural pruning that way. So Calgary carpet, put that on your list. It's a fantastic lower growing juniper with excellent green color. Hey, thanks for watching Garden Hike. We appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.